Hey there, everyone. Welcome to UpNorthLive Unscripted on this Friday evening, and happy Friday. Congrats. I'm sure you're done with work, so it's your weekend now. So why not kick off the weekend with a great unscripted show? And if you have plans, any outdoor plans this weekend, you're probably curious what the weather is going to be like. So let's bring in our meteorologist, Trevor, from the Storm Team Weather Center. Trevor, I know you mentioned earlier that one of the days this weekend looks really nice. The other one may be a little questionable.
Questionable, yes. That would be the day that we're thinking of specifically would be Sunday. We do have a chance for some thunder showers to move in, some mixture of showers and storms possible on Sunday. Maybe a severe storm or two. Otherwise, I don't think it's entirely out of the question. But otherwise, Saturday looks like a great day. If you're going to be out tomorrow doing any manner of activities, going to the beach, pool, going to the last day of Alpenfest, the parade. I know you'll be there. Anything. You got plans tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. And the humidity should stay down just low enough that it should be relatively comfortable, even though it's warm. Sunday, however, again, the chance of storms and also the humidity is going to come up. So you want to put the yellow caution if you're going to be outside on Sunday. I'll talk about that and any other chances to rain. And also when we're going to get some cooler weather back in here in the main weather in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Trevor. And we're going to start right away with our top story of the day here in Traverse City. So a Traverse City man who is accused of hiding cameras in the women's bathroom of his business will spend at least 4 years in prison. Edward Witkowski is the owner of the coffee shop Morsels in downtown Traverse City. He was arrested back in November 2023, and our Allie Baxter has been following the story since the very beginning, and she was there today in the courtroom for sentencing.
Essentially have an offense against the entirety of Traverse City, the community of Traverse City.
Much of this sentencing was spent on clarifying, how did we get here?
It's been nearly a year since employees here at Morsels found a hidden camera inside an outlet in the women's bathroom, and they were pretty sure their boss placed it there.
So they took pictures, put tape over the outlet, and called Traverse City police. They told officers Witkowski switched the outlet when they discovered the camera. Detectives tracked down the same outlet camera on eBay and confirmed Witkowski bought two.
And I can't tell you how many calls we've received the last several months from folks that are worried and asking, was I on the video? Was I captured? Was I seen? Was I observed? And all we can really tell them is that, yes, you probably were.
In court, details were shared about Witkowski's psychological evaluation, including his blame of his military experience leading to what he did.
I'm also somewhat familiar with a particular branch, and it's the same one that you served in. And I'd be hard-pressed to figure out where in honor, courage, and commitment, the core values of that organization, this behavior falls.
3 videos taken from the bathroom camera feed were saved and emailed by Witkowski to himself.
And this is the part where you acknowledged that there was a minor in the images, though it was not your intent to capture images of a child, which of course, whether or not that was your intent, obviously people underage are going to use the bathroom. That's pretty clear, whether it's by themselves or with a parent. And again, whether or not that was your stated intent, as you told this individual, the court can't help but notice that that was one of the videos that you saved, or at least emailed to yourself if the word saved is not appropriate.
And we're going to bring in Allie Baxter now from our content center. Hi, Allie. Thanks for joining us on Unscripted again to talk a little more about your story. So I'm just kind of curious. We are reporting that he faces at least 4 years. What exactly are the charges? And then could he see more time than that?
Yeah, so the charges for that, what he was sentenced for, it's using a computer to commit a crime. And then all of these had like different lengths that were sentenced by the judge. So it was using a computer to commit a crime. It was also lying to a police officer. And then it was capturing and distributing pictures or images or video of an unclothed person. As of right now, I don't know if we're going to see any additional time. There is some other pending cases going on, but they are civil. So we'll see kind of what the consequences are of that one. But I don't anticipate he's going to see any further prison time.
And what is that civil case in regards to?
Yeah, so right now, and I only know of one, it's potentially there could be more. But right now that civil case is from one of the former employees at Morsels. She was actually one of the people who discovered the camera, and she had continued to work there even after the police had gotten involved. And so she is suing for wrongful termination because she was let go only after she went to the police. So that's a case that we are also continuing to follow as well.
And that was I'm sure, kind of a uncomfortable courtroom to be in today, especially when you heard Judge Hamlin talking about the fact that, there were minors on video and that he did email videos of the minors. Were there any victims actually there, and did they give any victim impact statements or anything like that?
So as far as we know, for the 3 videos that he had saved in an email to himself, I'm not sure of the identity of those people. It's possible they were in the courtroom. I know Judge Hamlin did mention that he received 1 victim impact statement over email. But other than that, anyone who was for sure captured on camera, they were not in the courtroom to my knowledge. There were some former employees in there, and we know that that feed was constantly rolling. So it was capturing pretty much anyone who was in and out of that bathroom, and that includes the employees who had to use it.
Is there a rough estimate of how many people were on the videos? Do we know?
I'm not sure, but the prosecuting attorney's office did say that they've gotten so many phone calls from people because this is Traverse City. This was last summer. This was around Cherry Fest time. Morsels is right along Front Street, so it's at the time was a pretty popular place for people to venture to. And they said there's really no telling that people call them and they ask, am I on the video? I want to know. And understandably, it's extremely concerning for people. And they just don't know, just because he did kind of have a heads up that law enforcement was starting to get involved. So, we don't know what he was able to get rid of before law enforcement got involved, but we do know law enforcement was able to find 3 videos that he had deleted, and that was of people that they had to try to identify in some way.
So do we know what's next for Morsels? They've been closed this entire time. I mean, not that this is, a main part of the story, but I'm just kind of curious.
No, and I think a lot of people are curious as well, especially if you are someone who comes up to the Traverse City area for a vacation. Maybe you're not as super plugged into the news up here. And I see a lot of people walk by and they say, what is going on with this place? Because it is really nice prime property. It's on the Boardman River. And a lot of people have been used to seeing this place open for years because it did start with different owners before the Wachowskis got involved. So that is a big question for people, is what's next for Morsels. I was there today, and there is still a sign on the door that's been up there for quite a while. It says that they are closed for the season. Of course, summer is the busiest season in Traverse City. So I think if they were going to open at any time, it probably would have been now, but I believe they sensed that it wasn't appropriate to do so. Kind of looking through there was a lot of boxes. There was kind of like some moving boxes. It looked like some things had been placed in the front, moved around. So I'm not sure if there's, plans for Morsels to even continue as a place here, continue as a brand. We'll have to see if there's any announcements made in the future regarding that.
I'm sure it'd be hard for anyone to, especially someone who went into the women's bathroom in the past year, to ever go back into that building and to feel safe and comfortable. So it will be really interesting to see what the future has in store for that building.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that the prosecuting attorney's office has touched on. It is something that in the past there have been some people who have peacefully protested outside of some of his hearings. And that's something they emphasize over and over, is we don't want to have to feel that worry or that fear about going into any of the public restrooms here. You want to feel safe, and that's an extremely vulnerable moment for people. So they want to feel like they can go into places and not have to worry. And that's something that he has kind of violated and taken away from us.
Sorry about that. We're getting a phone call
coming in.
Allie, anything else that you want people to know about the sentencing or just the story that we haven't really talked about yet?
Yeah, I would just say, and this was emphasized in court as well, and it's definitely something that throughout this time law enforcement has said too, that the 2 baristas who first, called law enforcement, who discovered the camera, they are just extremely brave for, coming forward. And something that they have said in the past is, if you feel like something is wrong, come forward and say something. And it was because of how, this is what the judge said today, it was because of how brave they are that this issue was able to be brought to light, because who knows how much longer that hidden camera would have been there if these baristas weren't super smart and being super observational as well. They said, this outlet looks different than it has before. And through that, they were able to tell that it did have a camera inside. And so they probably saved a lot of other people from being caught on that feed.
Absolutely. All right, Allie, thank you so much for joining us on Unscripted and for talking a little more about your story today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Maya.
And we're going to switch gears a little bit now and turn things over to our question of the day, not at all related to that story. It is actually about voting. So we want to know, how do you intend to vote in the August primary and November election? Right now, 40% say absentee ballot, 6% say early in-person voting, and 54% say in-person on election day. Now, I'll put this back up on the screen, but I'm going to play some video right now because just to explain why this is our question of the day. So records have already been broken ahead of the August primary election. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, she announced yesterday that more than 1.5 million absentee ballots have already been requested, and that's actually more than 150,000 more ballots requested when compared to the same time in 2020. So that previous record was set in 2020 during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you haven't registered to vote yet, you have until July 22nd to register to vote online or by mail. And you can also register to vote in person at your local clerk's office until 8 p.m. on primary election day, which is August 6th. So before we take our first break, and speaking of elections, I do want to play a story about, a lot of people, there's a lot of conflict around the presidential election. Well, this particular election in a northern Michigan village, not a lot of conflict. It's actually pretty cute. So here's Mark Gillette with this election story.
Is a wonderful little bend in the road that sits right on Omena Bay. It has the best of all worlds.
Population around 250 people, but a crowded ballot for mayor, to say the least.
We accept candidates from greater Omena. It's not as far as Northport or Sutton's Bay, but we draw a pretty big circle.
And today, the candidates were doing a meet and greet, and the push was on to get folks to vote.
It is $1 a vote. We call ourselves Chicago style, vote early, vote often. Anybody can vote.
The rules are unusual, and so in fact are the candidates.
We have 1 horse, 1 goat, 5 cats, 2 of them running as co-mayor, and 12 dogs. We're thrilled.
Back in 2009, Omena held its first such election. Every 3 years, another campaign season rolls around. The money raised by buying a ballot goes to help fund the Omena Historical Society.
Last campaign was the first year we were online for the entire voting period. We raised $14,000 for the Historical Society.
While the Historical Society gets the funds it needs, the mayor, who is helped by a human village council, has important jobs to do.
The first responsibility is to be one of the early marchers in the Northport Dog Parade.
That and other honors and perks make for a pretty crowded ballot and a pretty busy time for campaign managers.
We have campaigned with her. This is her first appearance out, but we have an Instagram and a Facebook for her.
While Jovi here's a newcomer to Omena politics, Lilia is not.
With the past 2 elections, I have been running my chicken, Penny.
Penny the chicken was elected vice mayor. Lilia and Jovi hoping to land the top spot this year. But latest polling suggests that some ground needs to be made up on the front-running horse, Lucky Bosco. Lilia believes Jovi has what it takes.
Jovi's a great candidate. She's very sweet, she knows what she's doing, and she does not mind the winter weather.
In a time when politics can drive a wedge between folks, there's something kind of special about this election. It seems to do just the opposite.
It really brings the community together. We love to see there will be people that walk out of one of the Omena establishments and stand in front of the election board, in front of the Historical Society, and you can see the kids just laughing and pointing and deciding who they want to vote for, and we love it. It's just a great, fun couple of weeks every 3 years.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's bring in meteorologist Trevor Robideau with more on our weekend forecast. And Trevor, it was a really nice start to the weekend today. Lovely out there.
It was, and we're going to hold on to those conditions. I think Saturday, the first half of the weekend, looks to be really, really nice. Still lots of sunshine, warming up, however, and also getting a little bit more humid, but not too unbearable on Saturday. I think Sunday and Monday is when the humidity is going to get way up there into the 70s for dew points, and that's when it can be a little unbearable to be outside.
Yeah.
We'll start off with our three big things tonight as I switch over to our weather graphics. There we go. Three big things. Warm and humid this weekend. Again, as I mentioned, highs into the 80s with relative humidity 60% or higher. Dry Saturday. Showers was possible, I believe, up north along the eastern upper and towards Lake Superior with a mix of isolated showers, thunder showers on Sunday. A severe storm or two is possible on that day, but it's not a certainty. Comfort index forecast is look at the dew points that I had mentioned. Sunday and Monday are the 2 days to really look out for here into the high 60s and maybe a couple of those 70s. It can feel oppressive to be outside. And that combined with the high heat that we're expecting into the high 80s and maybe a couple low 90s means that the heat index could be into the mid 90s or higher, which is a lot warmer than what we would normally expect here. Even in the summertime, that's still abnormally warm. So just make sure you're hydrating, drinking a lot of water. You don't want to get heat stroke outside. Here's a look at radar right now around northern Michigan. Nothing weather-wise to speak of. Clouds are clearing out, and it's going to be a nice clear night tonight with patchy fog that'll work in later. Now, but before that, it'll be a nice night for some stargazing. If you want to go do that, I think it's be a nice, really nice summer night to do that. Some three planets will be visible: Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Although you have to be up pretty late or up very early, depending on how you see it, to see those. You have to look east or northeast to see those into the sky. Some of those low to the horizon. Saturn will be up pretty high, though. Next weather maker comes through later on Sunday through Monday. A shortwave trough is going to dig into the region, giving us the chance of those thunder showers that I mentioned. But tomorrow, however, I don't think any such thing exists. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, a great day. So if you have any plans to be outside, you want to go to the beach, you want to go to the pool, go to the last day of Alpenfest, Blissfest, any plans outside, no problems there outside of a few showers possible in the eastern upper. Later Sunday morning is when I do believe that we're going to have those showers and storms work into the region. I think our more severe weather and more heavy rain is going to be a little bit more downstate. But we do still have the chance to see a couple of those heavier thunderstorms and showers through the morning up our way as well, and then later into the afternoon as well. There's our severe weather outlook. Marginal risk extends through parts of Benzie, along Wexford and Osceola County as well, and west of that. A chance for maybe some light hail, some stronger winds, and especially heavy rain are all possible on Sunday. Here's a look at our marine and boating forecast. We're going to be out on the water tomorrow. Mostly sunny with a chance of showers north here on Lake Superior. Otherwise, waves 2 feet or less. Temperatures into the 80s with a south to southwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. Forecast tonight, mostly clear, patchy fog possible. A northeast wind becoming southwest late tonight ahead of our next system, and that'll hold true for tomorrow. Temperatures into the 80s, mostly sunny, warm, and humid, but real humidity comes in on Sunday and Monday with a southwest becoming west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's look at our extended forecast. The chance of showers and storms, as I mentioned, through the weekend, early next week as well. And then a cold front slips through midweek, drops your temperatures back down, and a few chances for showers lingering within that as well.
Thanks so much for that forecast, Trevor. We're going to take another quick break, but we'll check in with Harrison for sports right after this commercial. Testing your speakers on stream. Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe, into the conversation now. Hey, Harrison, how are sports treating you today?
Sports are treating me very, very well, Maya.
Good.
How are sports treating you?
Pretty well. I know the Tigers are already up against the Dodgers right now. Sorry if I stole your thunder there, but
No, I got it on my peripheral here. How did you know that?
I get updates on my phone.
Yeah. Good. Well, that plays
Dedicated
into we're going to give you some more Tiger trivia today, since it's a little slower around the office.
Uh-oh, I did so bad last time. I should have studied.
When and who is the last Tiger to participate in the home run derby?
Can you tell me when, and then I can guess who?
Or do you want me to tell you who and you can tell me when?
There we go.
It was Prince Fielder.
Oh. When would have been 2014?
Close. 2013. I believe
Ah.
that's the year he won. I should have looked that stat up. I think that was the year. I think he won two. I think he won one with the Brewers and one with the Tigers. But yeah, either way, Prince Fielder in 2013. So that's that stat. And we're 2 weeks away from the Summer Games beginning for the Olympics. And I found some fun facts that I teased for the 11 tonight. But hey, if you're watching right now, how about we give some away? We've got what, like 30 seconds left?
Yep.
So nearly 600 athletes across 31 different sports to be on Team USA. There are more women than men, 314 more to be exact. The contestants come from 46 of the 50 states. The only ones missing are Maine, North Dakota, West Virginia, and Wyoming. And Maya, what is the top state to send the most athletes to Team USA for the Olympics?
California?
Good guess. Did you overhear me say that earlier? Or?
Oh, no, I just guessed. Wow.
See, I knew you'd get one. You get the gold tie. Instead of a gold medal, I'll give you the gold tie.
I'll take it.
The content center.
All right. Thanks for that fun trivia, Harrison. We'll see you tonight at Sports at 11. And we're going to take a short break, but we'll be back in a few minutes. Let's take one more look at our question of the day results. How do you intend to vote in the August primary and November elections? 39% say absentee ballot, 6% say early in person, 55% say in person on election day. If you haven't voted, scan that little QR code on your screen right now to let us know how you'll be voting in August and November. But that'll do it for us here on Up North Live Unscripted on this Friday evening. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and I hope you all have a really great weekend and enjoy that sunshine tomorrow. Take care, everyone.